Did I do it? Did I get it on the right mark? Hopefully that worked. It's Matt here. How you guys doing today? What's up? I'm back with the first video of the 2020s decade. I'm trying to mean that literally. Literally the first video posted on YouTube in the 2020s decade, if we're being very technical about it. Because I'm going to be posting this at 4 a.m. Central Standard Time, which that's when the new year's going to start in the first time zone. So, if we're being very technical about this, and if I get this right, this will be the first video of the 2020s decade. I'm gonna try my best to work that out. Wow, 2020s, man. That sounds so weird. You know, kind of in media and in pop culture and stuff like that, I've always seen the 2020s as like one of the futuristic kind of cool ass tech gonna be out there. We're gonna be so far advanced and we're gonna be so freaking amazing with what we have. The future, if we're going by that term. Yeah, we're in that now. We're in the future. What? Where's my fucking flying cars? I got robbed of this shit. So I just want to make this video to kind of reflect on the past decade and then kind of predict the future for me and the rest of the world too, or at least my hopes for the 2020s decade going into it. So the 2010s, God, what the fuck happened? It was just so kind of drab for a lot of it. Just dark and just kind of depressing. I think a lot of that, at least in world terms, you know, comes from old, outdated, and just plain wrong ideals trying to stay alive in a modern setting. I'm not really a political guy, so I'm not going to go like too deep into it, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't have to say it. It reared its ugly head in a certain particular year, if you know what I mean. And we're still reeling from all that. But I think it was just more noticeable this decade because, you know, we have social media, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all that stuff. All that stuff, we see everything instantly. You know, we don't have to be glued to the television to get our news anymore. We just get it instantly on Twitter. So everything is just more apparent. It felt like the world was much more drab because everything was on display. You know, that sucks. That really does suck. But there was some good that happened in it. Gay marriage became legal. Finally got that shit out of the way. It's hard to think of stuff because all the negative stuff is the only thing I remember because all the positive stuff gets shoved out. 2010s, kind of drab overall. How was it for me though? Kind of same. It was kind of drab. It was kind of very depressing. It wasn't good. Let's just say that it's very hard for me to approach people, and it's very hard for people to approach me for a certain reason that I'm not going to get into. I didn't do it. It's not like I did anything bad. It's just, it's people being judgmental a little bit. I was in my teenage years. I was born in 1999, so, you know, I get to spend an entire age range, you know, with my from 10 to 20 and this decade. I went through all the stuff that teenagers usually go through. It was just made worse by the other stuff. It just got progressively worse and worse until this year, where it was at its worst, I would say. 2019 has probably been the best and the worst year. It was good because I finally realized all the stuff that was kind of going wrong because I really didn't know before. And I was trying to figure it out, but I finally did. And, you know, I was trying to fix them, but it sucked because a lot of it didn't work. In fact, it got worse than it's ever been. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm leaving this decade, kind of at the pew. But of course, there's some good. Started doing this YouTube thing back in June 2013. I started this channel. Been doing it ever since. Recently just changed everything up about it. If this is your first time watching me, I used to be doing something completely different on this channel. I was doing Kingdom Hearts videos. Now I've changed it to anything, including that too. I didn't get really far with it. I only got 9,000 subscribers in the span of about 6 years. That's not shit in terms of the grand scale of YouTube. I'm the niche of a niche, in terms of what I've been doing. Just to have this amount of people watching me in the first place, it's just mind-blowing, man. So, you and my subscribers, thank you so much for sticking with me through all that stuff. But it also kind of worsened the problems that I've been having in this decade, too. So, yeah, I have a bit of a complicated relationship with YouTube since it did so much good for me and so much bad. This decade, I thought I would be doing a lot more. You know, this was my adolescence, me growing up. I should have been doing stuff with people and going on all these other things, you know what I mean? But I never got to do that. This decade was marred by missed opportunities that I didn't even know were there. But now, we're gonna be in 2020. The next big jump in the social construct of years and calendars and stuff like that. But you know, since it's there, I do see it as a big marking point. So I try to look at it with more significance. And going into this decade, what do I think is going to be happening? This decade was marred by old ideals that wouldn't go away. I think there's going to be a much bigger effort to just bury those and get those out of here. There's just no place for them. I really hope that just gets axed. The main topic that we're going to be talking about for a lot of it is climate change, global warming, whatever you want to call it. It's real. It's happening. The evidence is there. It is undeniable at this point that it's happening, and it's going to start really taking effect in the next decade, I think. I think we all know that by now. Since that's the case, people are going to be pushing the shit out of change for this. And, you know, of course, with Greta, stuff like that. Go you. She's on her shit. She knows what she's talking about. Wait till your kids get out of school and celebrate Greta Day. When is her birthday, by the way? Yo, for real? Happy freaking birthday to you, dude. I'm hopeful that, you know, actual change and hope starts to come out of this decade. Who knows? It could still be going on like this. It's hard to get this stuff done because it's really hard to get people in positions of power that actually give a shit. But if we do that, maybe we'll and eventually start getting all that stuff done, then I think this decade might be pretty freaking good. Let's bury the 2010s in its grave and fix all the problems that happened in it. It's gonna be a lot of cool tech this decade. Again, bendable phones are starting to be a thing. Well, not really. Self-driving cars, probably gonna become the norm. We get like a big, new, innovative, life-changing tech product or service every decade. This decade, it was the iPhone and smartphones. The 90s, it was the internet itself. But who knows what's gonna be happening this next decade. 2020's, it's scary going into it. It sucks that basic human decency and care for this planet that we're killing has to be a political issue. If this is the first video I'm gonna be set a good tone, I'm gonna have it be a hopeful one for everyone, because I think change is coming. Who knows how long it'll take, but I'm damn sure it will start. I think that's what we need. That's what has to happen. Has to happen. We all can hope and try our best. All right, now back to me. Let's talk about me more. I am going into it very, very hopeful. I am pretty much resetting my life on January 1st. I'm going to be moving out of this room right here, my bedroom in my parents' house, which I've lived in for ever since I was a fetus. I've never known anything different. Finally going to be getting out and living in my own place for once. I'm 20. I'm a sophomore in college now, so I'm entering my 4th semester. And I hope this is the first step in me trying to get out more and break out of my shell and not be so isolated. Be around the people that I have interest in and I have, you know, good friendships with, and not just stay in this house. I changed the name of this channel from K Central to lowkeymatt right before this decade's about to start. I'm really wanting to take this YouTube thing somewhere in this decade because I've had big YouTube dreams like ever since I was 11. I've always wanted to reach 100,000 subscribers. That's always been a big goal of mine to get someday, somehow, some way. You know, I saw people getting their plaques and just dreamed that one day I'd get my own. That, of course, has not happened yet because of stupid mistakes that I made with the channel early on that I'm still dealing with the consequences of. Probably going to be really hard to shake off because of how fucked up I made everything. I made a whole video about that, so you can watch that if you want to. But I'm actually going to make that change, and I'm going to actually start grinding my gears and making sure that dream happens. Either that, or I want to start making music too. I've got really into music this decade too, and it would just be amazing if I was able to put out like an album and actually make a full career out of music and be famous. So I hope to at least get some music stuff done this decade. Who knows? Maybe I'll do both, YouTube and music. It's possible. Something's stopping me. I'm just going into this decade, remembering everything that happened in the past decade, and making sure that shit never happens again. I'm gonna make myself happy again. That's a goal. I know for a lot of people, including myself, it seems impossible to do sometimes, because it's really, when you have like depression and anxiety, it's really hard to get motivated and actually do that stuff. But I have had it up to here at this point. My battery's about to die on my camera, so I gotta wrap this up. So yeah, we're in the 2020s now. Again, that's so crazy, man. I can't believe that's actually a thing. Again, if this is the first video of this decade, which YouTube, hey, if you're watching this and I got this, I hope I got it right. I want it to be a hopeful one that I'm setting. So there you go. But yeah, this has been Matt, the decade of change. And the decade of hope, I guess. That's what I'm gonna say. All right. Bye.